There are people living today in 2016 who honestly believe that the Earth is flat.
You're not seriously going to make this that easy, are you? This is going to be fun.
Now the thing is, those people are allowed to have that opinion. You're allowed to have whatever opinion you want.
Well, that's awfully fair of you. Thank you very much for that.
But that doesn't mean that that opinion is valid or that it should be a part of our modern discourse. Because I think we can all accept, or at least most of us, that the Earth is not flat. The Earth is round. We live in a solar system. We orbit around the sun. And these are just basic facts that we have to accept because we know them to be true because there's a lot of scientific evidence.
See, I got into the flat Earth thing for a minute. It was funny. It was, you know, popular for a little while, and I started looking into it. And a lot of the videos I saw I thought were very well done. I thought they brought up a lot of great questions. I thought they were very easily debunked. But I wouldn't say that there wasn't a use for it. I mean, yeah, people question silly things all the time, but it's our desire to question the unknown and to prove in a way that we can find believable, you know, what is. A lot of great discoveries are made that way, by asking silly questions. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. A long time ago, people would have thought it was crazy if somebody looked up into the night sky and said, I wonder what it would take to get somebody up there. That question would have never been asked because it was just silly. We would never have gone to space. So what the fuck? What's going on here?
But like with most things, it's a theory. It's a very well accepted theory, but it's a theory nonetheless, like the theory of gravity, which I think we all pretty much accept as fact at this point, but it's still a theory.
See, I don't know if you understand what you're talking about. The theory of gravity that you might be mentioning is the theory of why gravity exists. It can't really be well proven that gravity exists because of the mass of the planet that we're on, or if it's because of the mass of the sun that we circle around. Nobody really knows exactly where the pull of gravity comes from. The why does it exist? That is what is in question. That it exists is not in question. You drop something, it falls to the ground. That's gravity. That's what we call that. That's how we define that action in our space. So I just wanted to make sure that we're all talking about the same thing here, because it gets confusing.
But flat earthers have their own theory, and they have their own ways of explaining away our scientific evidence to suit their agenda.
Yeah, and it's all very interesting. And the fact that it's being taken seriously at all means that at least somebody somewhere is bored, and they decide they want to do the science experiments involved with debunking whether or not the Earth is flat again. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say that it's completely useless to have the conversation. Ultimately, I know how it's going to wind up, but it's not completely useless to have the conversation. God damn it.
The reason I bring this up is because I think it's a really obvious example that we can all think about and conceptualize. Like, we all know that the Earth is round, and we can all laugh about how ridiculous it is that there's still a group of people that believe the Earth is flat.
See, I remember in your last video that you said that that kind of punching down humor is not good, but that's not the issue. See, yeah, it's kind of laughable, and you can kind of laugh at the people that believe that sort of thing, but nevertheless, it's still a good idea to at least listen to what they have to say, and then you debunk it, and then it should be over with. Like, it came up again, it's been thoroughly debunked, it should be over with again. It's stubbornness that keeps people in this sort of thing.
So I think we would also agree that it would be very ridiculous to have a debate in today's day and age with a round earther and a flat earther, and to have them present their evidence and like make an argument for it and make a big spectacle out of it.
That would be ridiculous? If we actually did have a debate between a round earther and a flat earther, and we actually did go through and make a big spectacle of it, I think that it would be very easily proven that the Earth is round through many different ways. I think both points of views will be brought up. I think evidence would bring out in truth, and I think that we would come to a consensus on something, and therefore we would be able to put that issue to bed and move our energies into a different and better direction. I think it would be awesome if we had a big spectacle of it. Get people fucking done worrying about that horse shit and worry about something else.
That would be false balance. That would be pretending that these two sides have equal weight and we have to talk about both if we're going to talk about one.
Well, if both sides of the discussion are going to act like they both of their sides have equal weight, then that's an equally weighted discussion. If I really believe what I believe and you really believe what you believe, and we decide to have a discussion about it, whether or not it's actually balanced doesn't make any difference. My belief that it is balanced is going to put me in that situation. So, it's ultimately on me if I'm going to be arguing that the earth is flat without having really good solid evidence. That's going to make me feel and look stupid, and that's going to be my issue to deal with when I am educated on how actually life works. But ultimately, there's growth there. So it's good to have these discussions, I think.
And I think there are a lot of people who, in totally different situations, will say that there should always be a compromise, that you can always be in the center of something and find common ground between people. But there's no common ground between people who believe the earth is round and people who believe the earth is flat.
It's because they're completely and utterly diametrically opposed points of view to each other. So there's no compromise because it's a situation where compromise cannot exist. Something either is round or it is not round. There's no middle ground there. It's just the way it is. What are you talking about here?
There's no compromise where the earth is like a puffy pancake that's like in between being round and flat. You can't have these two people come together and argue and try to reach some sort of compromise where they can agree that both of them have valid points.
Because there's no middle ground. There's no valid point in the earth is flat. That's... There's no middle ground there because you can't have a middle ground there. It's very black or white. Either something is in the state of being one way or it is in the state of being another way. There is no middle ground. You really aren't making it this easy for me, are you? Come on, Riley.
Because one of them has valid points and scientific evidence and the other does not. They just made it up.
You're not seriously making it this easy on me, are you? Come on.
And this applies, surprise, surprise, to a lot of other stuff going on in our world, socially and politically.
Like the fact that there's an infinite number of genders? Could that possibly be one of the things you're talking about? That there isn't just a male who has a penis and a female who has a vagina. There's somehow people who identify as having neither, even though biologically they have one, but yet somehow that matters biologically. You're not really making this easy, are you? Come on.
Let's take climate change, for example. There is a ton of scientific evidence for climate change, and yet there are still people who deny it, and we're supposed to treat them like they have a valid argument.
I would say that denying man-produced climate change has a lot of valid arguments. One of which being, and this is just throwing it out there, it was something I heard a long time ago. It always stuck with me and made me kind of giggle. So, you know, don't shoot, I'm just saying. But, man, you know, we didn't create the last ice age. And we didn't create the last greenhouse period after, you know, before that. And the earth goes through changes, man. And is it our fault? I wouldn't say it's completely our fault. Did we maybe accelerate things? Maybe. Does it matter as far as the earth is concerned? Is the earth going to give a flying fuck about what we've done to it? No. The earth will go on. Believe me. Long after we are dead and gone, the earth will continue to go on. So, like, the concerns of climate change are just kind of silly. But there's nothing really good you can do about it either. So, we're kind of stuck, however you want to look at it. But until something actually good comes along, you know, we're going through climate change. And is it entirely our fault? I don't really think so. I think the Earth just goes through changes. I think that's a very valid point of view. And I think anybody who disagrees with it is silly, and I'm not going to bother to listen to them.
But they don't, because the science is in and we know that climate change is happening and that it's caused by humans.
The science is actually not in on either of those issues. So, I don't know what to tell you.
So if someone says that climate change is not happening and humans are definitely not causing it, they don't have a valid opinion. They're just wrong. There's no compromise between it is and isn't happening.
No, there is no compromise between something is and isn't happening. And I think you're just wrong. So let's not bother to discuss our points of view on it, and let's just continue to think that we're both wrong. Let's not educate anybody.
It's happening, and we have to do something about it, and it's a very damaging opinion to just deny facts and deny that climate change is real.
Kind of like just denying that there's only two genders. I don't know. Just craziness.
There's also vaccinations. Like, vaccinations are a very good thing that do not cause autism and that help people stay healthy. Anti-vaxxers do not get a say here because they are wrong. They make claims that are based on false evidence. There's no like, oh, maybe we should kind of look into vaccines. No, they're just wrong. They do not cause autism. There are not problems with them. They make us healthier. They save a lot of people. Vaccines are good. End of story.
See, at this point in the video, I feel like she's throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing just what's gonna stick. Because I agree with all of that. So now I imagine in her mind, since I've agreed with her on this one point, that I had better agree with her on all the points, or else I'm just crazy and I don't deserve to be talked to. Like, that's the way it feels to me. These people are like the Sith, man. They deal in absolutes. And I don't like it. I feel like I'm being set up here. But I agree with that. Vaccinate your fucking kids. You're retarded. Mumps is coming back in California because kids are dying. Kids are dying because parents are stupid. Vaccinate your kid.
And of course, there are always going to be topics where both sides have good points and where we do need to find compromise. But there's a lot of situations where that's not happening and we pretend like it's happening. And I feel like that especially happens in politics.
Oh shit, here we go.
Like, people who consider themselves politically in the center feel like they're right just because they're in the center. They see themselves as the compromise of the left and the right. They see themselves as taking the good from the left and the good from the right and rejecting the bad from the left and the bad from the right, and they are the perfect compromise.
Well, that sounds like the perfect compromise to me, as long as that's actually what you're doing. Right? You wouldn't want to take the bad from the left and the good from the right and say, fuck it, that's my opinion now. Like, how retarded is that? What are you talking about here?
But that's just not how it works. Like, being in the middle of two arbitrary points doesn't automatically make you right.
What are you talking about?
Compromise is not always a good thing. On one side, we have people saying that LGBT plus people deserve respect, should be treated equally under the law, and should be protected from discrimination. And on the other side, we have people saying that LGBT plus people should be denied their basic human rights and not be treated equally under the law.
Now we're getting to it. Here we go. Look, anybody who says that gay people shouldn't be able to have their own rights, or, you know, their basic human rights, they're just assholes. You know what I mean? Like, politics has gotten involved in a lot of places it shouldn't have bothered to. Marriage being one of them. Marriage should have always stayed a religious thing. You know, there's financial things that go into it and whatnot, and that should be handled with the law. Sure. But marriage as an institution shouldn't be legislated. It should be based on whatever the faith that you're getting married under believes. That's it. And the joining of two households financially and all that whatnot, and raising of children, that all can be legislated to your heart's desire. But as far as getting married, go fuck yourself. And as far as two households that are male and two households that are female combining or whatever, as far as legalities of combining households, again, go fuck yourself. It's for tax concerns. Shut up.
These are not equal stances. We do not get to find compromise between them.
Yeah, and I missed my whole point because I went on a fucking gay marriage rant. No, I mean, there's no compromise between having human rights and not having human rights. And I agree with that completely. I agree that everybody should have their basic human rights. But it's these rights beyond things. This, you need to ask me what my pronoun is before you talk to me, otherwise I'm going to think you're a piece of shit. But if you talk to me before I give you permission to talk to me, then you're being rapey, and that's not cool either. And there's so many rules. You guys have so many rules. There's so many rules and so many terms for fucking ridiculous wackadoo shit. Fucking pangender and agender and asexual and all this fucking horse shit. You're making all this nonsense up. You are muddying the waters with stupidity. That is where the problem comes from. Just be gay. Just be transvestite. Just be whatever, transitioning. That's fine. Get your surgeries done. Don't get your surgeries done. I don't give a fuck. But if you expect me to see a woman walking around on a long blonde wig with fucking lipstick on and a full beard, I'm gonna look at you funny. Because you're fucking weird. I don't give a shit. If you're obviously a man and you dress and act like a girl, and you may or may not sound like Fix-It Felix, I'm going to think it's weird. Because I'm a basic person. Most people are just basic people. You are a minority. Remember that. Not everybody's going to, not everybody encounters transitioning people every day in their life. I think I've met two? And I've been in some environments where you run into that shit. And I only ran into one there. So what is the problem? Get out into the real world, man. And fucking see how people actually interact with each other. Y'all are just fucking crazy.
When we're talking about our humanity and our rights, we have a right to fight for those in their entirety, not in pieces as we compromise. There is no compromising on our basic human rights. And I know we're always talking about how divided we've become as a country and how partisan, but I don't think the answer is reaching across the aisle and shaking hands with a Nazi.
Nazi? What Nazi? Who Nazi? Don't tell me you're talking about Trump. Please don't tell me you're talking about Trump and calling him a Nazi. The guy who's siding with the Jews right now in the Israel-Palestine issue, he's the Nazi. Not Obama, who said, fuck the Jews. No, he's still cool because he's a black guy. It's the guy that's saying, hey, I'm going to look out for the Jews when I get in office. That's the Nazi? Really? Oh my God. People are just fucking crazy.
Because that's exactly what this new administration is being filled with. Trump's cabinet is already full of white nationalists. These are people who are openly misogynistic and anti-Semitic, and they use the term alt-right to make them sound like some sort of kooky, quirky, new age right-wing group.
These are people that disagree with your wackadoo points of view. And maybe they disagree with a couple of your valid points of view. But, I mean, you really think that Trump just waves a magic wand and shit just happens? Shit's gotta get voted in one way or another. Like, oh my God. And states always have the option of going against federal law. Look at marijuana distribution. Look at the states who have gay marriage. What do you think is really gonna fucking change? Honestly. Nothing. There's a reason the KKK is in the streets parading and celebrating Trump's victory. It's because his ideology lines up with the ideology of the KKK. The alt-right people he surrounds himself with are modern-day neo-Nazis. No, the KKK are marching and doing all of this fun stuff because they're fucking retards just like you. And they think Trump's gonna wave some magic wand and all of a sudden all the black people are gonna be slaves again. And that shit ain't gonna happen. They're just as stupid as you are! So I don't think that's a thing we should compromise with. I don't think we should compromise with white nationalists and Nazis. But I've already made a whole video about how we shouldn't normalize Trump's white nationalism, so let's go back to talking about other things. Yes, please, let's go back to talking what you were originally talking about.
can't get my mind off the election and all of that, you know.
Yeah, I know. You just won't stop talking about it.
So there's a lot of other areas where we could talk about false balance and compromise and stuff, but I've been running into this a lot lately with my own channel. Because people tweet me or comment on my videos or something saying, you won't debate this idea, it's because you're afraid you're gonna lose. That's not how that works. That's not a logical conclusion to come to when someone doesn't want to debate.
That's not a logical conclusion to come to when somebody doesn't want to debate you. That you're afraid you might lose. That isn't a logical...
There's like 1.5 million reasons someone might not want to debate you, but one of those might be you just don't have a valid viewpoint.
That's like your opinion, man.
And you're not worthy of being debated.
That's like your opinion, man.
You are the flat earther of whatever your topic is.
And I think you're the flat earther of your topic. So go fuck yourself.
Like there are people to this day who don't believe that homosexuality is real. They just don't think you can be gay.
Well, those people are stupid. There's big gay people all the time. That's just dumb. There either is something or there fucking isn't. That's just the way it is.
And I don't think we should give those people a debate. There's so many resources out there. That debate has been had. We recognize that being gay is a real thing. I'm not going to waste my time debating someone like that.
Yeah, there was a big show about it, and people were educated, and those people who are hanging on are just fucking assholes.
And the same thing goes for transgender issues. Like, if someone just doesn't believe that being trans is a real thing...
Now see, being trans, when you say that, what do you mean? Do you mean transitioning from a woman to a man or a man to a woman? Is that what you mean? The temporary state of transition? Or do you mean trans to be this kind of thing like you guys do? Because I think you said that you consider yourself trans, but you are completely male. You don't look like you have fake boobies. You got long hair. You wear makeup. You're a transvestite. You even said that you like girls. You're a transvestite. You're a straight transvestite. You're just like Eddie Izzard. You're a straight transvestite. So, what do you mean when you say you're trans? That's where the problem is. There's already definitions for everything that you people want to redefine. They're already out there. You need to stop looking in the 5th century BC or wherever the fuck it was you guys say that you're picking up Z, them, and all that horse shit. And you need to look in the actual fucking dictionary and the real fucking definitions. Asinine.
There's probably nothing I could say at this point to convince them, and a debate would just be pointless. You know, like, there's no point in having a debate with someone who's rejected all logic and reason.
Exactly!
There's no reason for me to debate a flat earther because I'm never going to convince them. No matter what evidence I have, I won't convince them that I'm right and they're wrong.
You're not seriously making it this easy for me, are you?
And it's the same thing with people who don't believe that being transgender is real. No matter what I say, no matter what evidence I present, they're going to be in their opinion. They just want someone to yell about it to. And I don't have to be that platform for ignorant people to yell their ignorant things. Of course, I think it's important to educate people, and if I feel like someone is genuinely asking questions and genuinely wants to know something, I don't have a problem talking and, like, explaining things.
Now, when you say genuinely, you mean, like, leaning more your direction? Is that more what you mean? I agree with you, I just want details? Is that what you mean? That's what that sounds like you mean.
But when it's someone who clearly has an agenda and all they want to do is yell about how you're wrong and they're not actually going to listen to you...
I'm so angry right now. I'm just so angry right now, man.
Then there's no point in having a debate. And again, there's no compromise between people who think that being transgender is real and people who don't. It's not like we can be kind of real, we just are. And yes, those people need to be educated, but if they refuse to be educated, there's nothing you can do about that, and a debate is pointless, and you're not going to find compromise.
I would say yes. You're very jaded. I would say that you're kind of retarded, too. You, to make those kind of statements, it shows so much what type of person you are. And, I mean, I've been getting steadily more and more angry during the course of this video. And I think the reason why I've been getting steadily more and more angry during the course of this video is because it's just so easy. It just is. If you have a fucking cock, you're a boy. You have a pussy, you're a girl. If you have both, you're a hermaphrodite. However the fuck that is that works. But that's like 0.001% of the population. Not to say that they don't matter. It's just to say there's not enough of them to really raise a stink over it. I don't know what to tell you. It's a fucked up way to look at it, but yet, it's life. Life is fucked up. If you're transitioning from one gender to the other, you are transitioning. That is expected or understood to be a temporary position. When you don't transition indefinitely. You either do one thing and become something else, or you do one, or you don't. So if you want to sit in the middle ground of I'm a dude and I want to dress like a girl and wear makeup, you're transvestite. We have a term for that. It isn't some weird, wacky other fucking thing. It isn't pangender or whatever else. You're all just a bunch of transvestites that don't like to be called transvestites because you're going to confuse transvestites with transgender, transitioning, whatever. And you all went crazy with it. And everybody started making up new fucking horse shit. And Blair White's the only one I've ever seen that said that it's all stupid and horse shit. All the rest of you fucking idiots are going on and on about this stuff. I wanted to be challenged today. I wanted to have good arguments. But you sat there and told yourself why you're a fucking idiot. That there either is one state of being something or there isn't. The fucking earth is round or the earth is flat. You have a dick or you fucking don't. And then you went on to say that anybody who thinks outside of the facts is fucking retarded. You couldn't have made it more easy for me. That's why I'm so pissed. I didn't really have to do anything in this video. All I had to do was show it. And God, did it go everywhere. Holy fucking hell. I feel like I've handled 1,000 different subjects. Because, like, a video like this has to be made confusing. It can't be made to make sense. You're disagreeing with yourself every other fucking phrase. And, oh, you don't believe the way I believe, so there's no point in even talking to you. You're just going to argue with me points that I think are ridiculous, so there's no point in having a debate with you. I don't care how ridiculous your points are. Bring them to me. Put them in the comments section. I dare you. Bring it up. Whatever it is. And we'll talk about it. And hopefully we'll have some laughs. And maybe there will be some jokes. And we'll have a good honest discussion. And problems will get solved. And questions will get answered. But saying you don't agree with me so I don't want to talk to you, that's not how that shit happens. You're a fucking asshole. And your points of view are harmful. And you need to stop. You need to watch your own video while realizing you're an idiot. I don't know, maybe I'm just not in the mood today either. I'm just not in the mood for stupidity. I picked a wrong video to do on the wrong day. I am not in the mood. So, I'm going to say that I'm done. Oh my god, this is going to be a fucking long ass video. I just went on and on. I was like, oh good, maybe 10 minutes. Oh, fuck me. Alright. Have a good day. I hope you liked this video. If you did, fucking hit the like button and do all the subscribing and the Patreon and all that stuff too. God damn, I'm just not in the mood. You know what it was? I got up and I watched TV. I watched the news and everything, and then I picked the video I was gonna do, I recorded the video I was gonna do, which I picked the other day. And then I fucking started playing Fallout, and I played Fallout 4 for like 4 hours straight. Played Fallout 4 for like 6 hours straight without realizing it, and then I was like, shit, I have to finish that video. So now I'm not playing Fallout 4 and I'm having a good time and I was having fun. Fucking shit. Now I'm dealing with dumb shit. Have a good day. Bye-bye.